Hey guys, I'm TheHumanFloyd, here to present the in-character role-playing rumors for the 25th of Sun's Height. It is said that an older Mer rented out a Thalmor Manor for a week. When it was restored to proper ownership, the whole place looked like there had been some sort of wild party. The rose bushes might never be the same. There's filth everywhere, and the term that's being used for now seems to be defiled. There was some stir in the Thizrini arena this week when a spectator in the stands didn't quite understand the purpose of the arena and sent an arrow into Elamia's head in an attempt to rescue the combatants below. The announcer reportedly considered unleashing several more beasts into the circle out of spite, but contained himself, to the relief of the two combatants below. The Twin Tails Company seems to be taking a more aggressive stance on their contracts. Rumor has it they've been out in full force, working on smaller projects in teams of 2 to 6. Those wishing to obtain the services of the Twin Tails are directed to contact Roshana, Telrena, or Paraiba for more information on services available. Those familiar with the residents of Auradon may have recently taken note of what may or may not be a recognizable face walking the streets of Skywatch and the long winding paths of the forest. Caitlin Fairverin has been making more regular appearances in the cities and towns of the Somerset Isles after some time of shying away from any form of public life. She is rarely alone, for a small Mer no taller than her knees toddles along at her side, attempting to practice the elven grace she herself walks with. Those who take an interest in the affairs of Altmer may remember she was subject to a scandal when it appeared the infant she had labored long to bring into this world was not in fact of the same blood as who she had been intended to wed. Her former betrothed, fair-haired and fiery-eyed, and she herself blonde and golden in coloring. The child was born with curls of dark hair and piercing emerald eyes. The apothecary shop and sanctuary for any individual wounded or suffering from illness has reopened. A young healer welcomes any who need to purchase any alchemical ingredients or potions, require health advice, or simply need respite from a cruel and unforgiving war. Among the Bosmerian Valenwood, word has spread that those seeking refuge from the Green Pact, as well as those desiring freedom from persecution under High Elf rule, can find sanctuary among a pack of expatriates who now call High Rock their home, provided, of course, that they are willing to bend the knee to Covenant Crown. They refer to themselves as City Elves, and have settled inside Wayrest. Several orcs have been spotted repeatedly in the Wayrest branch of the Mages Guild, an unusual sight for some. One, who has been a constant presence in the halls for his research on alien ritual magic, shouted an insulting mage down while lecturing him on elven history and Arabic duality. Little is known about the end goals of these visiting Orzamer, however. Some residents of downtown Wayrest have been complaining about a loud, intimidating mage who talks of subjecting necromancers and other practitioners of outlaw magic to something called Traven regulation. He is often seen in the company of a shameless Altmer woman known as the local guild wizard. More trouble in the Cloudy Drags Inn in Wayrest. A recent altercation between several women and a man in their company led to an explosion of magical nature in one of the front rooms. No charges were filed and no body could be found, and the women, a Chimera Vilos and Eleanor Athael, claimed they were taking a stand against a being of necromantic nature. However, the inn still wrestles with lack of occupancy due to the noxious smell in the wing of the building, and its grocer has left for greener pastures, claiming most of his stock was ruined that evening, with no forthcoming compensation from the owners. About a month or so ago, there was an incident at Wayrest's treasury. It's said that there was an attempted and failed robbery, the distraction of smoke having drawn too much attention. Though no one reported any missing items, several guards were injured in pursuit of the two daring would-be thieves, and two were, sadly, killed in the line of duty. Both murderers were said to have had red hair, but no other discerning features were noted. The Wayrest Mages Guild has reported that the recently lost and assumed stolen artifact has been recovered. One of the guild's apprentices embarrassingly admitted that it was found nearby from its proper place, stating that it must have been bumped and fell while cleaning and put back in the wrong place. The mages of the guild are happy that no foul play had occurred and the object is now safely returned. Guard Captain Matthias Attini was not so pleased and chastised the guild for being reckless in their hasty report to the Wayrest Guard. Travelers have been known to come far and wide for the famous stew made at the Dusklight Inn in Hoarfrost Downs Rivenspire. Indeed, it seems that several times a week the house is packed with gourmands and curiosity seekers alike, who wish to partake of the cook's gustatory delights. The ramblings of a local madman who claims the stew compels diners to sign up for army duty have been largely ignored. Somewhere around 3 weeks ago, a family in Bergama met tragedy. Having recently found a boon to their jewel crafting business, they'd arranged a marriage of their daughter to a well-to-do house in Bergama. Unfortunately, the wedding was cancelled due to unforeseen problems. The loose tongues in the tavern, however, tell a different tale, one of a greedy groom, bandits, and a missing dowry. The details are sketchy at best, but the groom being found in a warehouse, bloodied, with injured and dead compatriots, and a looted dowry, made for quite the drunken tale. The other night, one of the manors in Crosswich was burned to the ground. There was rumor activity of the Red Rook bandits in the area, following a rash of theft reports and mugging attempts. While no one was a direct witness to the fire, search of the manor's charred remains revealed several corpses. A pair of Red Rook bandits' bodies were also found just outside of the home, suggesting there was an ambush or attack of some sort on the criminal group. Apparently, there's a new Imperial Legion forming inside the borders of the Covenant. Word is they support Emmerich, but who really knows when it comes to Imperials? People say they've been spotted near Crosswich. Apparently, they were overheard trying to recruit in Wayrest. They want to destroy the Tharns and liberate the Empire from the Daedra. Over 24 bodies were found in a clearing west of Shornhelm, as if a melee had taken place there. Various known criminals were found in what appeared to be a breakout of infighting and violence. Among the deceased were a wide range of races. Most peculiar were the 4 wagons set against each other in an X formation. They were used as makeshift cages, as if people were being housed or jailed in them. All of the doors were opened, one by use of magical force. The Shornhelm Guard were rumored to have heard about a potential sale of slaves in the area conducted by a group of Altmer, but dismissed the notion and chose not to investigate. Ranking members of the Guard are exacting a full inquiry into the chaos, starting with a search for any survivors of the incident for potential prosecution.
My egg is not cracked. I swear by the sap of my hist. There are cultists living in that warehouse. I saw them slithering around outside of it 2 nights in a row. The ordinators won't listen to me because I am not a dry skin.
Word has spread across packed lands of an upcoming attack on the Aldmeri Dominion. When and where this retaliation will take place is unknown to all but those who have offered to lend their swords against the Altmer and their so-called allies. It is said a final war council will soon be held. The mission is said to be led by a Shellback commander sent from Hellstrom. Many have heard of his heroic deeds in the Akaviri War and in Cyrodiil. This shellback, named Shirt Ra, has publicly called all Jarls, nobles, chieftains, and other leaders loyal to the Pact to come meet with him in Stormhold if they wish to join the coming battle. Would you look at that? Lacey's bookstore no longer has that temporarily closed sign on the door. Seems to be open again. A certain member of the Mages Guild was overheard at a tavern talking quite openly about wanting to get his hands on vampire blood for some kind of experiment. What is the Mages Guild up to?
I wish the damn watch would keep an eye on them, that bunch of cultists and Daedra worshippers.
Well, did you hear those screams of pain coming from the Mages Guild last night? It sounded as if they were torturing someone. I did. I had to go down to the guild hall afterwards to buy some potions, and I swear there was a foul stench in the air. It smelled of burned flesh. With the crackdown of Dregside at an end, near midnight on the 23rd of Sun's Height, the majority of the South Watch are seen returning to their duties and free time. The residents of Dregside, supposedly taken for resisting, carrying weapons, or simply being able-bodied, are rounded up just outside the North Gate by the Covenant marshalling grounds. As darkness descends on the camp, the wounded are tended to by army menders. These men are now levies in the Covenant army, fighting under the new local lord of Dregside. The majority of them will become support troops of some kind.
In the name of High King Emmerich, following attempts to ignite rebellion against noblemen and merchant alike from the poorer classes, the Wayrest Watch has been ordered to subdue and set examples for such malcontent. On the 23rd of Sun's Height, they committed to orders, arresting dozens of traitors. Among the people of Dregside, an unknown but large number have received training in the use of weapons, for the purpose of revolt and overthrow and crime. While Stormhaven fears not such an army of ill-trained men, it is the concern that those who have little will eventually take from those who have. At Blade's Edge, to protect all citizens from such, action is taken. All residents of Dregside who carried out or hid weapons of war and who pose or posed a danger to our society have been detained as the traitors they likely are. For such despicable acts against king and kingdom, hanging is the punishment. But King Emmerich is just. Amnesty are given for those whose mind was lured to treason by honeyed words and bellies filled with food from the Cabal. They will be given a chance to show where loyalty and devotion truly lie. Therefore, they shall join with able-bodied residents levied on the same night to join in support of our righteous campaign in Cyrodiil.
This statement, written by Lieutenant Mason Smith, has been posted on several walls. On the more publicly exposed places, some of those posters have an arrow stuck into them, the angle indicating a trajectory from an elevated position. Have you noticed that broad red guard with lots of body ink hanging around the merchant district of the inn of late? That person who lost the first fight in Blood for Money a few nights ago? Yeah, him. Saeed, I think his name is? Sounds like he's looking for some work. Keeps advertising his skill in combat with that axe of his, and hunting as well. That's it for this week's Rumors of Tamriel. Please submit your roleplay rumors to the IC rumor mail threads linked in the description, or to my inbox on tessorp.com. I want to encourage people to post rumors for RP events and guilds as well. I'm looking for voice actors to help me with my videos. Additionally, if anyone would be interested in taking on some of the editing and production of Rumors in Tamriel and other series, please get a hold of me. My email address is TheHumanFloyd@gmail.com. Thanks for watching and keep roleplaying. Peace. Authorities in Skywatch have received complaints from the patrons of the Sky's Edge Tavern. Witness testimonies all seem to agree that there is a pestering mer who stands outside the gate offering free back rubs to all who pass by. Descriptions also vary from a really ugly girl to a rather small adult male. The elf is suspected of pickpocketing, larceny, and public indecency, as nearly all customers have reported foul play and terrible massages. Recent disturbances rooted in social distrust between the rich and poor of Wayrest have resulted in a toxic atmosphere between the unfortunate residents of Dregside and the soldiers of the Northgate Watch. Indeed, there's cause to believe either an uprising or a crackdown is on the horizon. Rumor has it that the beggar woman known as Charlie has not been seen in her usual sights lately, mainly the fountain in the market and the one outside the Cloudy Dregs. Could some ill have befallen her? The Khajiit chef Tazita has been heard making inquiries into hiring guards to accompany her from Wayrest to Daggerfall. People have been talking about a private investigator that has recently come to Wayrest, and that he's open for business. A few people have been paying him for his services and are already commenting on his work.
That grave of that sewer guy had a painting of a red guard of the Empire on it this morning, and some flowers. Some people do go above and beyond to mourn their dead, don't you agree?
A farmer selling produce in the big city told folks over a mug of ale in the Cloudy that a local girl had been found dead and partially eaten in a forest not too far out of Wayrest. A woodsman found her. The story goes, her family, grief-stricken, said they had not sent her off to see a relative.
Hear ye, hear ye! By writ of the crown, all travellers into the King's Forest of Stormhaven are encouraged not to travel alone at night. Wolves are an ever-present danger, and in these dark days, any such beasts may be more savage than expected. A bounty of 10 gold per wolf tail is in effect.
There has been a buzz amongst the initiates and junior members of the Mages Guild that the renowned and reclusive scholar known as Hakon Stormblade is finally looking for a research assistant for a new project. Anyone foolhardy enough to brave his fearsome reputation as a taskmaster should apply in person at the Cloudy Dregs, where he is largely bedridden following a terrible accident at the hands of a Redguard woman. The recommendation he could give would surely be worth it. There are rats in the Cloudy Dregs. It is said that some idiot of a guest brought rats along with them in their luggage without knowing it. Beware, patrons, the rats are especially fond of silks. That's all for today. Be sure to post your rumors up in the EU and NA rumor mill threads, or send them to my inbox on Engine. I'm also still looking for voice actors for the various races of Tamriel. If you're interested, email me a sample of some voice work. TheHumanFloyd@gmail.com. Keep role-playing. Peace.